So, what are some of the unrealistic things about those women coming to pick lavender at like midnight or whatever, 10 last night? One, most people don't do that at night. Two, I think, so did Joe come forward and show you an email for some reason about, dude, whatever, he was just complaining on his thing about his baby was having trouble sleeping, so I was just off, I was just being a friend, it was like, here. But he probably complained and made this like a thing, right? Right, so what I'm guessing is that they're gonna say, oh, we were picking lavender for a child at 10, it's very important. There are other bushes, lavender bushes. In fact, this entire wall behind me has lavender all on the top. Those people would be well aware of that. Now, if they were completely oblivious as to who I was and that I was here, then it kind of makes even less sense. Why? Well, would you guys approach a homeless person at night? I wouldn't. If that person wakes up and is irritated, wouldn't you kind of be afraid? Right. What you see is that these women, it doesn't even make sense. Okay. There's a bush away from me, and they start there, and then they have to get the one right next to me. And I'm obviously irritated. I'm awake, I'm turning on my camera, I'm just shaking my head, I'm talking to the camera, and they can tell, even if they don't know what I'm saying exactly, the intonation. I'm clearly irritated, and I think most people know common conduct of when someone's trying to sleep, you don't keep talking and get closer and closer to them. I'm unconcerned that these women have proof of anything. Okay. Film away. Okay. But here's the thing. So, if they did see something, let's say drugs or I don't know, whatever, stacks of money or stacks of weapons, would you space out your time to stay longer? I mean, that's essentially like finding out that someone is crazy. Now, if someone is crazy, then it validates all these rumors that you said about me. So, wouldn't you be afraid? Right. Because if you discovered this, aren't you worried that that person might go very far to cover it up? Right. But, so if they came in and saw something, don't you think they would leave right away? Oh, shit. I'll just go get the lavender from down there. Right. But that's not what you see. What you see is these women go, there's a perfectly good lavender bush over there. Incidentally, they scared the cats, which was irritating. And they're picking each flower one at a time and sniffing it and then handing it to the other one to sniff. And then doing it again, and it's all the same bush. Now, if you are trying to be conservative in how you are picking things, like you want to test it out before you pick it, then you're not picking it off the thing, sniffing it. You're sniffing it while it's on the plant. Okay, so they're not actually testing anything. It's fake. What they're doing is acting, and they don't know how to do it. Okay? And then someone just keeps repeating herself, and they're on a script. Okay? They're on a script. So, and it's a pretty dumb script, too. I started making, I mean, perhaps you heard since it's bugged up here, making fun of the whole thing. Suddenly, two women come walking from the pathway. They courageously leap over the wall and trudge forward, despite the awakening homeless person who is clearly annoyed. Deliberately and with great care, they pluck each flower and test it, the aromatic qualities of it. You know, it's just ridiculous. And then they have to switch bushes. Okay, and then they have to get right next to me. Now, common sense and common courtesy says someone's trying to sleep and you wake them up, you don't come closer and talk louder. Especially when you don't have to. Right? So it's not good acting, it's not courteous, and it's total bullshit. And oh, let me guess, they don't have proof. They're just there to be a nuisance. They're just there because they know I'm going to be asleep when I get there, and you know, they're going to cause problems because they can't. Now here's the other thing. At the end of the tape, when they're leaving, I very sarcastically, and they can probably hear it, say, Luego. And they're like, oh, bye, Luego. No. If you just discover that someone has drugs or weapons or whatever, that means that person's fucking crazy, all things that have been said. So you're not cheerfully, oh, Luego. Right. But they're going out of their way to be nice because the whole act is supposed to be innocent. Right. They lingered around, they took more time, they got closer, this and that. So, note that when they're down there, I do start filming when they're still down there. They're not going to be able to see details from down there. Okay? I do have them when they're closer, and I show you. There's nothing, I'm not doing anything. Lastly, my behavior, I don't know what drug they would say, but if it's got to be an upper or a downer. So, if it was an upper, I wouldn't be asleep. I wouldn't be asleep. And if it's a downer, I'm not going to wake up. Especially wake up, turn on my camera, and talk eloquently. Have you heard people on heroin trying to talk when it's kicked in? No, you know why? Because they're asleep or they're drooling on themselves. They're not uppity and irritated and like talking like I was. So it's not even showing the signs of drug use, and I do show you my pupils too. Now, you have to keep in mind it's nighttime and I'm going off synthetic light. So my pupils might be a little dilated or something, but it's natural with the light that's going on and not indicative, definitely not indicative then of a downer. And as your pupils constrict, and for an upper, my pupils would be larger than what they're going to be. So, just some things for you to think about, I guess. Right. Out of the goodness of the soul. Oh, here's the last thing. If you are getting something like an emergency makeshift thing, again, there are many other plant options in town, and right there, and you don't have to come right here. But if you don't need that much. They grabbed entirely too much. You're making something for a kid, like a tea or something, which first of all, kids don't like the taste, so good luck with that. And second of all, you have to dry it. So an emergency remedy that would have to be picked at 10 o'clock at night? No, you have to either get the oils out, which is still a process of several days, because you're using an alcohol to burn, and you have to burn off the rest, and it becomes an essence. This takes several days. Or you're making some sort of tea, in which case you need to dry it. And if in the case that they're just using it for, here, sniff this plant, they don't need as much as they grabbed. Right? The whole thing is horseshit.